Hero by John Barratt. He wasn't a hero, although the tarnished medal dangling from his frayed khaki pocket belied that fact. He was a fake, a counterfeit, a fraud even. He had fought, God how he'd fought, but not for king and country, no, not for home and hearth, just for his life. Bullet and bayonet, missile and muscle, the psychotic chatter of machine guns battering his senses as he crested another trench on the gas-ridden fields of Flanders. It had glittered once, that medal, the burnished bronze swinging jauntily from its verdant green ribboning like a trapeze. It bubbled and radiated during the heady days of the victory marches and Anzac parades, revelling in the attention, glorying in its significance. But it was all a facade, a fiction, a fabrication. He hadn't lied, not really. He just hadn't corrected their assumptions. After all, who was he to chastise an officer? The smoking funeral pyre of an artillery battery was partly his doing, wasn't it? He'd been there with his unit. He'd carried a gun. He'd borne the weight of ammunition. The weight, the damned weight. The medal hung from his heart like an anchor, dragging him in on himself, taunting him with the truth that he thought he could bury alongside his fallen comrades. Shame is a game you don't want to play, but play it he must. The sun had tried its best that morning. Loosely filtering fingers of gold had touched the black, smouldering ruin of what had once been polygon wood. The fingers of God endeavouring to heal, but withdrawing soon after, admitting defeat. A battery of 3 105mm howitzers dominated the hill, squandering all life within range of their fiery gullets. A bevy of machine gun nests pocked the hill face, dissuading all comers. There they sat, the kings of all they surveyed, dealing death by high explosive. His section had been assigned the task of infiltration and eradication, a group of 12 men against the iron might of the German behemoth. He'd said his prayers and thought about David and Goliath. They'd spent the darkest morning hours crawling uphill, faces blackened with the soot of their billy cans, belts and fasteners taped to avoid the telltale clink of metal against metal. They'd expected to be discovered at any moment. Magnesium flares arching skyward, heralding the inevitable machine gun fire, bullets buzzing like angry wasps around their heads, until the one with each man's name found its mark. By some miracle, though, they'd almost reached the crest before sighting pickle helmets silhouetted against the first whispers of dawn. He glanced again at the dirty steel cross at his heart, tainted now to the colour of dried blood. Their blood, not his. And steel it was that day too, cold steel, the black bayonets of the chosen 12, assaulting a mechanical mayhem. They charged that brave 12. There were no shouts, there was no faltering, just a trickle of men ascending that hill and descending to hell. One man fell at the lip of the machine gunner's trench. The single bark of a Luger gave the game away, took his life away. Australian steel exacted reprisal. Onward and upward. No need for clandestinity now. The Australian lion roared from their mouths and bellies as they charged the waking giant. The crack of Lee Enfield, the crump of grenades, the silence of the fallen, the indifference of those who would never wake again. A wildly thrown Mills bomb found a home among stacked German shells, then obliterated it in a blinding flash that rivaled the sun. One gun down, and 3 more Australians, shrapnel completing its deadly work. Mausers joined the fiendish chorus. 2 more slouch hats spun to cold earth. The trembling hand of a Westbury farmer shoved a Mills down the yawning barrel of another whiz-bang, the final defiant act of a usually placid man. 2 guns lay in pieces, litter on the field of Anzac courage, and 5 brave men swept onward. Shot for shot, shout for shout, they bludgeoned their way forward. One by one they fell. Officer, NCO, enlisted man, until the last grenade retold the story of the first, sacrificing itself amid a stack of German high explosive. And then all was still. Here and there a fire crackled, the metronome tick, tick, tick of heated metal keeping time with the whoosh of hissing steam. No one moved. No one could. The impossible had happened. 12 men had climbed that hill. 12 men had charged those guns. 12 men had won the day. Heroes all. 12! 12? But wait, I see only 11. Where is Judas? Where is he, that rogue apostle? The accusing, staring eyes of the dead seek him out. There he is, they cry. There he sits, they say. Lifeless, bony fingers waving like signposts. Down the hill in the dugout, the machine gun nest, the start line. There he is. I'd stood up and stumbled forward, my guilt betraying me, but it was too late. It was over. I toured the carnage, rifle in hand, magazine full. Too late. You there, someone shouted. Hero of Flanders! An officer, a major no less. He shook my hand. He patted my back. He mentioned me in dispatches. He gave me this medal, this weight, the anchor for my heart, this reminder.